The first time I saw her, she was standing at the top of the stairs in my father's new house, wearing a faded sweatshirt and socks that didn't match. Her name was Hannah, and my dad had just married her mom after a whirlwind year of late dinners and fast decisions. I was 17 then, angry at everything, mostly at him. But when I saw her, I forgot for a moment what I was supposed to be mad about. She smiled awkwardly, like she wasn't sure if we were supposed to hug, and said, "So, I guess we're sisters now?" I said, "I guess so." But it didn't feel like that. Not even a little. The first few weeks were full of strange politeness. Our parents were always around, overly cheerful, pretending we were one happy family. But when the doors closed and it was just us, the silence was a different kind. Comfortable in a way that made me nervous. She would sit at the window reading, her hair falling over one side of her face, and I'd pretend not to look. I told myself it was admiration, curiosity. I told myself a lot of things. It was the little things that made it worse. She'd brush past me in the hallway, and my stomach would tighten. She'd laugh at something I said, and my chest would ache. At night, I'd hear her footsteps in the hallway, soft and careful, and I'd lie awake staring at the ceiling, wondering if she ever thought about me too. One evening, it rained harder than I'd ever seen, the kind of rain that traps you in a room and forces you to talk. We were both stuck at home. Our parents were out for dinner. The thunder cracked and shook the windows, and she jumped, spilling the tea she was holding. I handed her a towel, and she laughed, embarrassed. "Guess I'm not great with storms," she said. "Guess you're not," I replied, smiling in spite of myself. The lights flickered and went out. For a moment, we were just two silhouettes lit by the occasional flash of lightning. She looked up at me, her face soft in the dim light. "You ever think about how weird this is?" she asked. "What do you mean?" "This," she said, waving her hand vaguely around the room. "You, me, suddenly being sisters? It feels like a movie that forgot its plot." I laughed, but my heart was pounding. "Yeah," I said, "it's weird." She didn't say anything else for a while. Then she looked up again and said quietly, "You're easy to be around." And that was it. The sentence that ruined me. After that night, something changed. We didn't talk about it, but we both felt it. The way she lingered near me when she didn't need to, the way I caught her staring when she thought I wasn't looking. It was like we were orbiting each other, afraid to collide but unable to pull away. When summer came, our parents announced a long vacation. Hannah and I would stay behind for a few days. She had a summer class, I had work. The first night they were gone, we stayed up late watching movies. Halfway through one, she fell asleep on my shoulder. I didn't move. I just sat there, feeling her breathing, memorizing it. When she woke up, she looked confused, then smiled. "You didn't move. I didn't want to wake you." Her eyes held mine, searching. "You didn't," she said softly. "You just made it worse." We didn't say what it was. We didn't have to. That night, I couldn't sleep. I went downstairs for water and found her sitting on the couch, legs tucked under her, wearing one of my shirts. She looked up, startled. "Couldn't sleep either?" I said. "No. You?" She shook her head. "It's too quiet without them." I sat beside her. We didn't speak for a long time. The air felt charged, heavy with everything you weren't saying. Finally, she whispered, "Sometimes I wish things were different." I swallowed hard. "Different how?" She looked at me like the question hurt. "You know how." The silence after that was unbearable. Then she reached out, her fingers brushing mine, tentative and trembling. I didn't pull away. She said, "I shouldn't," her voice shaking. "We can't." "I know," I whispered, "but I want to." And then she kissed me, soft, terrified, like she was afraid the world would end if she pushed too far. Maybe it did. I don't know. All I know is that everything I'd been trying not to feel came crashing through me at once. When she pulled away, there were tears in her eyes. She said, "We can't ever talk about this." I know. But we did. Over and over. It was like trying to hold back a tide. We'd find excuses to be near each other, to touch without touching. The nights got longer, the lines blurrier. She'd brush my hair out of my face. I'd make her coffee in the morning. All of it ordinary, all of it loaded. Then, one afternoon, she told me her mom had gotten a new job offer out of state. They were moving in a month. I laughed, thinking it was a joke. She didn't. "I thought maybe you'd be happy," she said, forcing a smile. "Why would I be happy about that?" "Because whatever this is, it's not fair to either of us. It's real," I said. "That's what it is." She looked away, biting her lip. "That's the problem." The weeks that followed felt like countdowns. Every moment together carried the weight of goodbye. We pretended to be normal around our parents, but every glance was another promise we couldn't keep. The night before she left, we sat outside on the porch, wrapped in the same blanket, not saying a word. The crickets were loud, and the air smelled like rain again. She leaned her head on my shoulder, and I felt her tears soak through my shirt. "I don't want to forget you," she said. "You won't." "I might," she whispered. "Not because I want to, just because I'll have to." I turned to her, holding her face in my hands. "Then don't. Please, Hannah, don't." She kissed me then, desperate and trembling, like she was trying to memorize every second. When we finally pulled apart, she pressed her forehead to mine and said, "Promise me you'll live your life. Don't wait for me." "I can't promise that." She smiled, tears on her cheeks. "I know." The next morning, she was gone. Years passed. I went to college, moved to another city, dated people who never felt right. Sometimes I'd see someone with her hair, her walk, her laugh, and my heart would lurch, but she was never there. Until one day I was walking home from work when I saw her standing across the street. Same hair, same nervous smile, but older somehow, like she'd lived 1,000 lives without me. We didn't speak at first, just stood there, the noise of the city around us fading into nothing. Then she crossed the street. "Hey," she said softly. "Hey, you look good," she said, smiling. "So do you." For a long time, neither of us said what we wanted to. Then she whispered, "Do you ever think about us?" "Every day." She nodded. "Me too." The light turned green and people started moving around us again. The spell broke. She looked down, then back up, eyes shining. "I should go," she said. "Yeah." But before she turned, she stepped closer and kissed me. Quick, bittersweet, final. When she pulled back, she smiled the same shy smile she had that first day. "Goodbye, not forever," she said. And just like that, she was gone again. That night, I walked home in the rain, soaked to the bone, smiling through tears, because for the first time, I wasn't angry or lost. I was grateful. She had been my stepsister for a year, but my first love forever.